Hello, friends. If the Renaissance was a grand symphony of art, science, and philosophy, then architecture was its majestic stage. A masterpiece carved in stone and crowned with domes that kissed the heavens. The medieval world had been dominated by towering Gothic cathedrals with their sharp spires and intricate stained glass. But the Renaissance? It sought something different. It wanted harmony, proportion, and the elegance of the ancient world reborn in modern times. And at the heart of this revolution stood two visionaries, Filippo Brunelleschi and Andrea Palladio. Let's begin with Brunelleschi, a man who started his career as a goldsmith, but ended up changing architecture forever. Born in Florence in 1377, he was fascinated by the ruins of ancient Rome. He traveled there, studied their secrets, and came back determined to revive the lost wisdom of the past. His biggest challenge? The unfinished dome of Florence's cathedral, the Santa Maria del Fiore. For decades, no one knew how to complete it. It was too big, too ambitious, too impossible. But Brunelleschi, with his genius mind and a touch of stubbornness, took on the challenge. Instead of relying on wooden scaffolding, which would have collapsed under the sheer weight, he devised a system of interlocking bricks laid in a herringbone pattern. He used a double shell structure to distribute the weight, and, most brilliantly, he invented hoisting machines to lift materials higher than anyone had before. The result? A dome so massive and magnificent that it became the pride of Florence. Even today, it stands as a testament to human ingenuity, a symbol of the Renaissance spirit. But Brunelleschi wasn't just about domes. He reintroduced mathematical perspective into architecture, ensuring that buildings weren't just functional, but also visually harmonious. His designs emphasized clean lines, symmetrical layouts, and a return to classical columns and arches. His influence spread like wildfire, inspiring architects across Italy. And then came Palladio. If Brunelleschi was the father of Renaissance architecture, Palladio was its greatest ambassador. Born in 1508 in Venice, he dedicated his life to perfecting the principles of classical design. He studied the works of the ancient Romans, particularly Vitruvius, and combined their grandeur with the elegance of the Renaissance. But Palladio didn't just build. He wrote. His book, The Four Books of Architecture, became a Bible for architects across Europe and even beyond. It influenced the grand buildings of England, France, and later, even the United States. Ever seen the U.S. Capitol or the White House? That's Palladio's influence, centuries later. Palladio's most famous works were his villas, beautiful country houses designed not just for function, but for beauty and balance. One of his greatest masterpieces, Villa Rotonda, is a perfect example. Inspired by the Pantheon of Rome, it features a symmetrical design, a domed roof, and classical columns that exude elegance. But unlike the grand temples of antiquity, this wasn't a religious structure. It was a home, a place where art and daily life blended seamlessly. So what made Renaissance architecture so special? It was about rediscovering the harmony of the ancient world, but adapting it to a new era. It emphasized symmetry, proportion, and mathematical precision. Buildings were no longer just towering monuments of faith. They were designed to celebrate human achievement, reason, and the beauty of the natural world. From the majestic domes of Florence to the serene villas of Venice, Renaissance architecture transformed cities into living works of art. Every arch, every column, every dome was a testament to a new way of thinking, one that valued creativity, science, and history all at once. It wasn't just about constructing buildings, it was about constructing a new vision of civilization itself. But architecture wasn't the only Renaissance art form inspired by the past. Literature, too, saw a revival, with writers rediscovering the wisdom of the ancients and weaving it into their own time. In our next episode, we'll meet two literary giants, Petrarch and Boccaccio, who helped lay the foundation for the modern world of storytelling. So stay tuned, friends, because the Renaissance still has so much more to reveal.